Well, hello friend. Welcome to another episode of Van Life Living in New York. Well, I'll tell you, I'm actually down at the river today. I was going to go to the park, and I thought, everybody else, when you're in a relationship, everybody loves to go out to dinner, right? Or on a romantic picnic or something. Well, as most of you all know, that I'm busy chasing God, right? So I thought I would take God on a Valentines picnic today. Well, instead of me taking him, he took me. It turns out I had money that I didn't know I had. And I'm sure he saved it for this very moment, because I was going to only go to the local park because I didn't have gas money, and I'm always worried about these things because I really don't have any money. So, but what he did do was, since I had that money, well, now if I get short on gas, I got a couple dollars to put in the gas tank. So he told me to come down here to the river where I could really enjoy our view, right? Because if you see behind me, there's the river. One thing is, it's really windy, so it's better with the mic facing this direction, but regardless, it gives you a better view anyway, friends. And since I'm doing this for God, I'm also doing it for you, right? Because we can't really give God a gift, right? We give God a gift by giving it to his children, which is our neighbor. I'm sure one of you all are my neighbor, because in my book you all are, right? Because that's what Jesus said. Jesus said that, that was the whole idea, was it's more important to give food to your neighbor than it is to fast, because the true thing that God really wants for us to do is to give to one another. But I thought it would be just cool to have a romantic dinner with God, right? I know it sounds kind of silly, friend. But the Holy Spirit told me, he said, well, Jason, don't feel so foolish, because do you think that God does not appreciate the fact that you invited him out to a Valentine dinner when everybody else is thinking of other people? So it's a good thing to think of God on this day, because I think of him as my creator, my father. I don't really call him God very often. You'll hear me on here always saying Father, Father, but he's more than that. He's my creator. He's my everything, and I'm his nothing, right? Jesus said, of myself I am nothing. It is the Father who doeth the work. So he said, a student is not greater than his teacher, so I try to be like him. So anyway, what I did do is I brought out some tuna that was going to go bad out of the refrigerator, right? So I made some tuna fish sandwiches before that went bad. And then some cake that was left over that my mother had made for my brother's Super Bowl party. My brother-in-law, because they live next door there, and I thought, well, I would just grab some leftovers and come out here, and I love chocolate milk, friend. So to me, this is a wonderful dinner. Tuna fish, piece of cake, and chocolate milk. You just don't get any better than that. So that's kind of my plans. And then from here, I don't know where to go, because, tell you the truth, friend, I was just going to go to the park up there. And since he's put me here, well, that puts me close to a couple different hiking areas. Or I might just take a little hike around this park and not do anything at all. It's just really hard to say. We haven't gotten that far along on our date to decide that yet. And, well, I always let God make all the decisions, because I'll tell you, I'm just not good at making decisions. My whole life I made all the wrong ones, so I try to let him make the right ones. And tell you the truth, friend, because I'm talking about the things I'm talking about on here, and I've sometimes talking a hard message. Well, I spend a lot of time alone, because those that do still associate with me, well, I can't really talk truth to them. Everybody has a spouse where they can be honest and just be where they're at, and well, I really don't have that, except for through the Holy Spirit with my Father, right, which is the voice of God. So it's through God that I have the relationship that I need in order to do the things that I do, because people don't want to talk about what's going on. They don't want to hear, prophecy. They don't want to hear about truth. And Christians want to hear one thing, but they really want to hear warm and fuzzy Jesus. And Jesus just wasn't warm and fuzzy, friend. He told you at the end of the age that he was going to deny his own disciples. So a prophet that's talking truth really doesn't, the Christians don't really want to hear it, friend, and I don't blame them. But you either talk the truth of what Jesus said or you don't. So I can't talk to warm and fuzzy Jesus. I have to talk with the whole tongue. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shut this camera off and go ahead and have my sandwiches and go from there. All right, friend. Well, may God bless you and yours.